What's happening, nerds? This is John, nerding out with cards, and the video I want to do tonight is actually a book review. Relief by Brian Kappel, and this book might look familiar to you because Tony, the Southern Collector 14, actually had Brian on his channel and did an interview regarding this book that he wrote. And so I remember when that video dropped, myself, along with many others, was like, oh, I'm going to pick up that book. I'm going to pick up that book. And, well, obviously I did. And one of the things is, finally got around to reading it. Not only did I read it, but then after I read it, I went back and watched Tony's video interview with Brian. So I thought that was kind of neat to do that. And what I can definitely tell you is this book is worth reading. Especially if you're into baseball cards, you're into vintage cards. Even somebody like myself who's not like a huge fan of the 49 leaf set, because I only have one card and that's the Marty Marion, but really interesting book to read, and to see somebody who has such an interest and puts so much time, effort, and research into writing this book. One of the things I'll tell you too is, you could read this in a day. I read it in a day, and I took my time. I was just laying around in the hotel room. It's like, oh, I guess I'll read some more. And then I guess I'll read some more. And the next thing you know, I was done with it. Now, what specifically piqued my interest in this book was the whole dating part of it. And so I'll talk a little bit more about that later on, but that's one of the reasons why I watched the interview. Was one, why I watched Tony's videos anyway. And I watched that, and it was just like, oh damn, he's really getting into kind of the stuff I care about. But then if you watch the interview, which I'm going to link it down below, but he gets into so much more than when were they produced, when were they on sale, because it's the whole, they were called 48, then 48, 49, and then you get some people like myself who believe that they're 1949 cards, and we'll continue to say it's 49 no matter what any label says. Well, anyway, excuse me. He gets into the printing process. He gets into the where they were manufactured. Was it in-house? Was it not in-house? The different variations and all these things. He gets into it pretty good. And one of the things I thought was really cool, because this chapter about the variations, and he provides a lot of side-by-side of this early printing, and then this was added. He gets into the only way that's that's possible. He learned it through a phone conversation with his uncle, and it's like the printing plate had to be altered for that to happen. And then we talk about are they 48, are they 49, this, that. Well, he gets into the fact that there's only 3 recognized variations, but there's a whole lot more. And he talks about his back and forth, circular conversation with PSA about how they won't recognize it, and it has to come from a reputable source. So he he went and became that reputable source. I thought that was just so cool. But anyway, like I said, highly recommend you check this book out. It's on the Amazon. I'll put the link down below to that as well. But like I said, in a day you could read this book. Very enjoyable. Just a neat baseball card book, right? So then, kind of going back to what piqued my interest in it, and that was because big Cardinals fan, and I wanted to expand my musical collection. Now, for years and years, I honestly thought that, his Bowman's his rookie card. And I don't know if that's because Bowman's more of a prominent name within the hobby, cardboard history, because Leaf being one offset, and he talks about, why and how that happened in this book too. And maybe that was why, I'm not really sure. But when you know, started looking into cards, is I never seriously thought that I would be able to own a Stan Musial rookie card. Then, of course, later on in life, I did. And it's like, okay, well, now I know of the Leaf card along with the Bowman card. It's like, well, which one do I get? Me, the way that I overthink things, I start looking into it. Okay, well, the Leaf's more expensive. You know, a 1-to-1, it's a more expensive card. A 4-to-4, more expensive card. So, you know, I start researching more. You see forums, they're talking about not necessarily the musical card, but the set. And then that's where I really started to form an opinion, like, you know, because there's all these like Easter eggs on the back of the cards, like this happened after the season, that, and you know, what have you. So it's like, all right, I'm gonna double down. Like, I think, like, I always thought the Bowman was a rookie card, and now I really think the Bowman's a rookie card. And so when it came time for me to actually be able to go after one, I targeted, you know, this 1948 Bowman. And a lot of people say they like the design of the 49 Leaf better compared to the black and white Bowmans. And I mean, to each their own. You can't say that one person's wrong. Now, I legitimately do prefer this image. I talked about in a previous video that this picture, I do believe, was taken during Musial's rookie season, despite the year that this card was manufactured. So I think it's really cool. I like this card. I do like it more than the Leaf. And you know, you might think that, you know, collecting rookie cards or valuing rookie cards might be dumb. You don't value it. I mean, yeah, in some cases I do, in some cases I don't. In this one I did. And but you know, as time goes on, you know, you see the Leaf card and people calling it a rookie card. And it's like, man, I really don't think that's a rookie card. But I guess, what does it matter what I think, right? The hobby does dictate that, right? And it's like, despite all the evidence and what have you that is out there, you know, knowing what we know now, why can't we correct that error, kind of thing? And it's like, well, that's because of so many collectors spent so much money on the cards, and so, you know, it'd be hard to make that change. You know, price guides way back when said rookie card next to it, so you know, it's like, whatever. And so I just thought it was kind of neat that, sure enough, in this book, you know, he did the research. I think he had some help he talked about in this book, but on or about March 14th, 1949 was when they shipped the first cards to Boston, Massachusetts. So it's a 49 card. And now, why do I have heartburn about the 49 Leaf Musial still being considered a rookie card? Because it drives the price up. And I want one. So if we could just, you know, correct the historical errors so that card gets cheaper, that would be amazing. Only for me, right? And then people who don't have one. But I think for like me and my collection, it just kind of like reaffirmed that I made for what I was wanting at that time. I wanted a Musial rookie card. It validates that I got the right one. I don't know. You might think that's dumb. I don't. It's what I wanted for my collection. And then, like I said, yeah, you know, I like to tell stories about my cards and what have you. But whatever you think of that little story, don't let that detract from this book, Leaf by Brian Kappel. Again, it's an excellent book. It's a very easy read. Again, I'll put the link to the interview, and I'll put the link to the Amazon to pick this book up. But I really do think that you should check it out. I mean, there's no skin in it. It won't take much time, but you will enjoy it. Trust me. Especially the vintage collectors, you will love this book. You will absolutely love this book. So, anyways, kind of a short video, and I hope you'll enjoy it.